Hello everyone, it's Yvonne back with your bonus read. I did have someone lovely say the other day that they would like to see more singles readings on the channel. Please be open-minded too, because sometimes when we talk about past people, we see them past lives as past people too. I can't always tell whether the person that's coming in is a past person or a past life person. So please be open-minded about that, because I think sometimes it's sort of, if you've got nobody in your life, or you've had nobody in your life you want to return, then it's very possible what I'm seeing as a past life energy. So as soulmates, we reunite at different times in lifetimes to bring in the lessons we need to learn, whether they are, you know, positive lessons, or whether well, they're all positive. Whether they are lessons that are good or not so good, maybe is the best way to say that. But we bring people in along the way to help us learn and guide us through on our path. So sometimes those people that look like past people may be past life energy. And I guess that's up to you whether you believe in the whole past life thing. I've seen it in action, so I can honestly say I do. But for some people, that's a little bit of a concept they find hard to get their head around. But when you do meet certain people, and maybe your energies feel exactly the same, and you know the person so very well, and you're vibrating on a very similar level, it's a very hard idea to cast aside. Let's say that. And often you dream about them before they come in, or you visualize that you've met them before they've come in. So it's quite interesting. Alrighty. I'm using the Good Tarot here, so we're going to have a little bit of a change. You know me, I love change. 6 of Cups, 6 of Water coming out here. So I've just been sitting here talking about the past, and I've been sitting here talking about past people, and the very card I turn up is the 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is a card that talks about nostalgia, reminiscing, bringing back sentimentality, thinking about the past. It's very much a card that talks about childhood and how you felt in childhood, and what sort of things you may have done in childhood that you've forgotten now. And it's a card that asks you to remember who you were in your childhood before the universe got to you, before your ego came out, before you started to see the world through other people's eyes. Now, the 6 of Cups it often comes in when somebody is a past life soulmate. Can't deny that. It also can talk about people coming back from the past, depending on what other cards are around it. Sometimes we see it though with past life energy. Okay, so I have the Queen of Swords behind that, and the Queen of Swords came out in the What's Cracking reading as well. She was the front runner. The Queen of Swords is representative of Libra, Gemini and Aquarius. I feel like here, some of the things you're learning may be things you forgot about in childhood. I feel very strongly that this person that you are is maybe remembering some of the things that happened to you as a child in a way that you can take lessons from that. Now, there's a lot of us who had sort of different sort of upbringings, tough upbringings, whatever you'd like to see them as, but where we've blotted out a lot of this past energy, and we have very few memories of our childhood. And I feel that once you start digging down and once you start looking, some of these memories come back to you. We do have the 10 of Cups coming here. So I do see you coming into some sort of abundance through reliving and transformation. Okay. So there's definitely this feeling here that some of you are going back to your childhood energies, back to looking at your childhood, looking at your past and understanding who you are as a grown person. And this is creating not only abundance, but it's creating a very different version of you. Oh, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune behind that. Okay. So some of you are trying to understand your patterns, your cycles, the way you do things, the way you see the world. All of those things are coming to light at the moment. You're digging through them with this transformation card. You're really understanding how you got on this merry-go-round in the first place. So for example, if you have a bit of a low self-esteem, it might be you're looking back at your childhood and thinking, well, when I was a child, you know, I roamed free, I went walking in the forests, I did whatever I wanted to do and I never had any limitations. Why is it now that I'm scared to take a risk in my life, or I fear things? Because when I was a child, I feared nothing. So what then have you been programmed with along the way that has taught you to be scared of things? So I feel like this is the transformation you're going through at the moment, and it's showing you very clearly here what your cycles are. I think the universe is doing this because you need to move on from where you are and you need to understand yourself a lot more. Okay. All right, so we have the Nine of Pentacles coming out here. So this is the result of what the work you're doing or what you're working towards. So this is about being completely whole, being completely oneself, feeling comfortable with everything around. This is the gratefulness that you feel when you have reached a certain milestone. So definitely something occurring there. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups coming out here. So this here looks like it's more around self-love. I've got two together. Okay, so I have the Queen of Fire coming in and patience. Okay. So this is definitely about, because patience represents temperance, by the way, which is divine timing, which is being patient, and allowing yourself to grow while you're waiting. Don't waste the time waiting. Put it into something, whether that is writing a book, singing songs, dancing, painting, self-work, whatever it is here. Don't waste your time waiting. So I feel like here, some of you may be waiting for love to come in. And waiting on love doesn't bring it around, because you need to be vibrating where you need to be to welcome love into your life. So if you're waiting, you're not working on your vibration. Now, I know this is a really strong concept for some people to understand. But if you are in a mindset of lack, that you don't think that you deserve something, that you don't think that you are at a level to welcome something in your life, you're coming through with a lack mentality here. And you know what, at the risk of people clicking off here, this is the desperation to have somebody in your life rather than looking to yourself to fulfill what you need. It's looking outside of yourself. Rather than looking inside to see what you need to do so you're not coming from this feeling of lack or this idea of lack. Now, that's not to say that we don't want someone in our lives, okay? It's not taking that away from you that, the idea of partnership is beautiful. But in order to find the right person for you, you've got to be vibrating where you need to be. Otherwise, you will not attract the right person to you. So you end up going through the cycles and things that you saw in the beginning, where the universe is trying to move you away from things. So you may go through lots of relationships that don't work, and one day you're sitting there and you think, wow, I've been doing the same thing over and over again because I'm not learning the lessons. That's what's happening here. Okay, so I have the Seven of Swords coming in here. Oh, okay. The Justice card. This is your lesson here, right here. And the Seven of Wands. Okay. Some of you are being very stuck, maybe even somewhat stubborn about how you see things. Sometimes I hear people say, well, and I remember somebody close to me saying, why can't I find love? Other people find love. What's wrong with me? And I was like, right there, right there. Why can't I find love? Well, that makes it really difficult if you're staying in that mindset, because that's a lack mentality. The universe is teaching you a lesson here, and the one thing you're being taught to do is you need to be really clear and open about what you want in relationships. So maybe when a relationship comes in, instead of being able to say, this is what I want in the relationship, you hold back and you don't talk. You don't communicate that. You're so happy that you've finally got this relationship. You're so finally happy that you've got someone in your life that perhaps you forget to say, well, actually, that's not what I want in a relationship. I want to have, you know, a long-term relationship where we eventually, you know, marry. And the other person says, well, you know what, I don't want to get married, I want to stay single. So instead of speaking up and going, well, okay, well then you and I aren't on the same page, and therefore you need to go on your merry way, and I will look for the person that's going to be like that. We think this person's, you know, doesn't want the same things as I do, but I'm so wanting this person in my life that I'm willing to accept putting my own stuff on hold for this person. And this is what's happening here. So the universe is saying here, because this guy here, look at the ducks, people. This is about speaking up. It is about having your ducks in a row. It is about understanding that you deserve to be loved. You deserve love in your life, but you also deserve to be respected and have the sort of love that you are looking for. So they're not ducks, they're geese. I get it. Someone's going to write up, Yvonne, they're not ducks, they're geese. All right, I get that. But what I'm trying to say to you is this is so important to speak up and say to somebody what you want in your life. If somebody isn't offering you what you want, they may never change that. You're not going to change people. It's not what you do. You can't mold someone to fit your ideal. So, universe, what is the answer to that? Okay, so we do have the Chariot coming here. And we do have the Two of Pentacles. So this is about making your own choices to move forward. And the Four of Swords coming out here. And that's what I was talking about. Taking the time out to really understand who you are and what you want. Raising your own vibration. Bringing yourself to a place of plenty, to a place of gratitude. So that you're not coming from a place of lack. So you're vibrating at a level that someone out there who wants the same things as you will come in. Otherwise, you're always going to attract in people vibrating on your lack level. So they will also be coming from a place of lack. And that is not good for either one of you. Because what will happen then as you go along your merry way, if you keep molding yourself for the other person, eventually you're going to get resentful. Oh, okay. So what the universe is saying here is you need to take the time out to go through this transformation. You need to be more in this Queen of Swords energy, where you're prepared to speak truth, where you're prepared to allow this transformation, and you're prepared to allow the universe to bring you what you want. But you've got to be coming from a place of plenty, a place of gratitude, a place of thanks, not a place of lacking. So if you're desperate enough that you just want to have someone in your life, then you're going to bring in someone who's desperate enough to want you in theirs. Okay. Too many. Oh, there it is. Middle World. This card's beautiful. Look, it has the Tree of Life on it. Again with the birds. Okay, Middle Life. Card 36, which is the card of 9. Okay, the middle world is the realm of day-to-day reality and the playground of the living. It is the present moment where everything is happening, yet the middle world is created by the future, not only the past, and it is a mirror of the invisible realms. When things are right in the middle world, heaven and earth support everything. When they are not right, heaven and earth must be brought into order as well. Ooh. The middle world shows up when conditions are favourable to your undertaking. Do not hesitate. Move forward as heaven and earth are smiling upon you. The time is right, so be expedient but mindful of not being reckless. The world is your playground, and what would require great effort at any other time can be accomplished with ease right now. So this is about manifestation. So this is about understanding that if you want something, you can work towards it. This is the time to do that. Have a great day.